Do you consider yourself an open-minded person? Do you consider yourself a fair-minded person? Were you restricted as a child in terms of what you could watch and read and listen to? I read right-wing literature and left-wing literature. I read gay literature. I read porno. I've written porno. I read violent comic books and watched violent cartoons as much as I could. I consumed an unnatural amount of horror films. I couldn't get enough. And I had nightmares, and I still do. But all these things fuel our imagination, which is an obligation for humans. It is a crucial component of any evolution of consciousness that has ever and will ever take place. It is a catalyst that opens our minds and expands our knowledge of ourselves and everything around us, even that which we can't see because we can imagine it. Shut down that part of the brain, and believe me, that's the plan, and it's being enacted now in all kinds of ways, from defunding schools, and the fight against CRT, and the banning of books, and artificial intelligence, and believe me, the brain will shrink. If we don't use those parts of our brain, they will atrophy, and what will be left is a mind that is easily manipulated, easily conditioned, easily propagandized to do the bidding of our overlords who we don't even know. And we become automatons, robots, zombies. Choose your metaphor. Not AI, but NI, no intelligence. But in the greatest mass hypnosis of all time, still believing we're free-thinking, free-choosing humans. So you see the danger. Not just of preventing a child from reading a book or hearing an idea or a song that can change their life, but damaging and potentially contributing to the destruction of the species. And who knows, maybe that's the way it will go down. But that's why it's important to fight, to keep our kids' minds open to all and not closed to everything except what some fucking racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic jackals have deemed appropriate. Unlike Trump or George Bush, who never read a book and obviously skated by on their family name and cheating to get through school, there are politicians who are well-read. Perhaps our greatest enemy of books and words and ideas is a very well-read individual, Ron DeSantis. The dumbasses will never have their fascism, but the smartasses might. We've been taught critical race theory since there's been school in America. White critical race theory. The whites came to this savage land and tamed it. The whites defeated the savages. That's what I learned in school, and I didn't buy it then. Only as a rare novelty would we learn the name of an indigenous person, and mostly as the butt of our white supremacist jokes. Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Pocahontas. And we might learn the name of one slave who was supposed to symbolize the nobility of all slaves, like Harriet Tubman or Kunta Kinte, but that was it. But you know, these populations, the indigenous populations and the African enslaved populations that were wiped out, crushed with violence, also were broken psychically by the centuries of abuse that still very much goes on today, but we're so used to it and conditioned to it that we think things are getting better instead of more subtle and insidious and worse. Why? Because of white critical race theory. People will be influenced by what they see and hear. It will affect their thinking, and in most cases, that's good. But there will always be people who misinterpret too. Sometimes it's malevolence, sometimes it's ignorance, sometimes it's both. So if you're afraid of gay literature or drag queen shows, you're afraid of reality. You're afraid of the truth. Isn't the truth, whatever it is, better than a lie we know is a lie, and letting our children believe a lie when we know better? Isn't that the greater sin? It's white critical race theory that must be banned from the schools. Wrong is right. War is peace. Truth is lies. Now we may need to add fascism is freedom. They want freedom. They want the freedom to take away your freedoms. Imagine that.